welcome back to my channel, Trifive guy, and this week we're going to work out why my 57 is misfiring under load. So stick around guys and let's find the problem. Alright guys, so we got back from the Nationals as I said, and on the way, I suppose on the second day we were driving back to the event. The first day everything was pretty good. The car drove really well there. We go back to the motel, you know, have dinner, whatever, get up in the morning, you know, clean off the car and start our way to the Nationals. And all of a sudden, every time I would take up from the satellites, you know, being a manual car, it would kind of like want to splatter, sort of not splatter, I guess, like it felt like it lost a little bit of power. And I'm going, oh, that's odd. What's going on? Is it a carburation issue, or is it you know, is it a timing issue? But so I didn't really worry about it, because once you were going, it would be okay. And then I would start to drive in the place, and same sort of thing, losing power, you know, changing gears. And then on the third day, the final day, it was just bad. Like, it was breaking down, under load. And on the way home, it was getting quite scary. I mean, it drove back all right as long as I didn't get my, you know, put my foot into it. As long as I took my time, you know, we just cruised back doing about 70 mile an hour, 75 mile an hour. As soon as I try to put my foot down, it would start breaking up, and I found the cause, which is this. Well, I assume it is, but I was getting arcing out on the spark plug boot here, and as you can see, it was pretty bad. And I picked away most of that, but it was all burnt. It was pretty bad. Now, this plug wire, when it was, you know, it was really close, and this is the second one I replaced. But it was funny because for the last 4 or 5 years I've been driving this car, I've really never had a problem with it. But obviously this is, and most probably is, the problem. It just, you know, under load, that would create a longer spark, I guess, and you know, it would metal on metal contact, and you know, it'll cause that sort of loss of power and hesitation. So there was only one thing to do. It's either get a short plug, which they're not that short. These short plugs that you see people talking about and buying, they're not that short. They're maybe an eighth to a quarter, maybe too short, which wouldn't have mattered. Here you can see, right, I'll just turn the header around. I've already modified it right there. You see that? I just made it, put a dimple in the exhaust. And I know what people are gonna say, that if you modify the exhaust, you're gonna lose power. Well, number one, these are 1 5/8 or 1 3/4 inch, 1 5/8 most likely exhaust headers. They're from a HK TG small block Chevy Holden V8. Sorry, Chevy V8 in a Holden HK TG. You know, from Australia, because it's right-hand drive, obviously. So there's the indentation. I created nice sort of indentations. Now, I know a lot of people saying bashing your headers in will lose power, but if you go to Engine Masters first season, episode 4, they talk about that, and they absolutely annihilate a set of headers. I mean, they beat the absolute living crap out of these. I think they're 2-inch headers, and it lost no horsepower. I think it lost 1 horsepower. I mean, they done both sides of it. They smacked the crap out of them. So I'm a firm believer that that little modification to the header does absolutely nothing in power loss. So what I'm going to do is, I said earlier I had problems with this bracket. No, I didn't have a problem with the bracket, sorry. I had to modify this bracket down here because these are stock bracketry for the alternator and the power steering, but I had to cut off one ear. There was, see how there's a loop here? There's another one that goes over this exhaust. So this used to rise over and attach to that. Because I've got headers, that's no longer there, because you know, here's the bolt here. you see, and these really turn really quickly, and that's where you'll probably lose a lot of power. And of course, these are under manifolds, exhaust. Had these been like a gasser type header, and you would come through here, you know what I mean, over into the side here and go over the rail, this motor would make more horsepower anyway. But it's not about that. It's a street car. I'm not really worried about how much horsepower I'm losing. It drives really good. It's got plenty of power for what I've got for the street. It runs really good. So I'm not going to do any of that sort of stuff to this motor. So next thing I'm going to do though, for that bracket I was talking about, is I'm going to drill and tap right through here. So right with, hang on, right where I'm pointing here, I'm going to drill right there a 3/8, 3/8 18 hole. So then that bracket, that's the side's missing, I'm going to make a little arm that'll go to that bracket. You'll see it. I'll drill it, I'll tap it, and I'll be back. Okay, so I drilled a hole, just went 5/16 drill bit, and a 3/8 16 tapped a thread into there, and then you put I can use this bolt here once I can get it screwed in with one hand. Well, you're supposed to use one hand, but there you go. You know, the bracket will go from here. You know, I'll make a round bracket with a flat. It'll go here just to about there, and that'll, where the bracket used to go was here to here, like around it, and it would hold the alternator power steering bracket. But now, because it's got a header on it, you can't, it can't do that sort of a clamp around like that. It fails. So I've elected to, you know, put a thread in here and just go like that, and then that'll be as it was as far as strength. Yeah, so that's done. So that can be put back on. As I showed the relief for the plug wire, and that it's still close, but it's nowhere near as close as it was. You're probably wondering what this is. Let me get back to you about that. This is something I'm doing as well for Trifives or any other car. Got the header on. I need 2 more bolts. I had shorter bolts. I was never happy with them. They take like an inch bolt. The flange is like 1/2 inch, and at least goes in 1/2 inch into the head. So 1 inch bolts there. So I got to get those 2. I got to get down and put the flange gasket on there. New flange gasket that I got. That's just a Mr. Gasket one, 3 bolt flange. Here's what I was talking about with this thread that I made here. See? So now that's got a nice little threaded thing. I'm going to make a bar out of 1/2 inch stock or square, and it'll just bolt to here. It'll come up across here pretty well leveled, and do a sort of a Z, probably here like that. Probably use round bar, look good. Keep it away from the rocker cover to get the gasket on and off. So it'll come across here, I'll just drill a hole through here and just nut and bolt it there. There's what I was talking about. It goes, these are all loose still. I don't do them up until they're all on. It used to go like about here, this bracket, you see. So it can't go there anymore. There's no way in the world. So I've opted to go there, and it's got the strength back. That's why Chevy designed them, and I'm gonna do it the way they did it. I don't want any chance of this twisting. You know, because you got your alternator, you got your power steering belts, got everything hanging off that. So why do stress on anything? Got to do that. Got to put the distributor cap back on and run some new Taylor 8mm wires that I've got for it. They're black, these ones, instead of the red that I had. Yeah, so I'll do all that. Also, I've got to change the fuel filter. I had a glass one, and I had it running here just when I diagnosed what was the matter with it, and I looked at this fuel filter, and I know glass are terrible, you shouldn't be running glass, but I was just checking a while back to see if it was bubbling and if I had vapor locking issues. Anyway, I just touched it when I turned it off, and it blew off. So I'm putting a regular filter there. yeah, I'm going to put a regular filter. I had big dreams of bending up a steel line. It's just not worth it. I was going to bend up a steel line and make it hard all the way across there, but I'm just going to put a new quality filter there, give it an oil change, new oil filter, and yeah, just move on. But I'll be back when I get the exhaust all bolted up and get all that home, and when I'm ready to put the new wires on. Anyway, I'll be back, guys. Okay guys, so I've got the wires on, clean the plugs. They're still fine, the plugs, so I put them back in. I got those two bolts that were missing, so two 1-inch bolts. Got the wires on, like I said. I've got them out of the way. I've got to just join them, like put something about here to just keep them away. Everything else is cleared, nothing's touching. I'm going to get underneath of it there and just put a tie wire to stop it from hitting the header. Plugs are, like I said, plugs are in, wires are on. I've got a new fuel filter, just a plastic fuel filter. I'm not happy with that glass one, so I'll go ahead and put that on as well. And I've got a new Mr. Gasket, I think that's 2.5 inch, 3 inch, that's a 3-inch collector. So 3-inch collector, 3 7/8 bolt pattern, and I'm going to put this on next. I've got the car up, put a jack stand under it, get that on there, make sure that's bolted up, do that cable tie away from the exhaust for that wire, and then I'll put the car back down. While I'm under there, I'm going to just make sure all the plug wires are seated into the plugs properly, and then yeah, I'll go from there and I'll be back, guys. It's getting there. Okay guys, so all back together. The wires are all on. Plugs, wires, got the air cleaner back on. Fuel filter, that's on there, correct. I've already pre-primed everything. Yeah, just gotta dust off that air cleaner, it's dirty. Gave it a quick wipe down, going to a show here and probably another half hour to an hour. There you go, give that a bit of a wipe. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna, before I put it away for the winter, I'm gonna give it a bit of a wash, and then I'll cover it, disconnect the battery, all that sort of jazz. But I'll get some cleaning supplies, put them in there. I'll put a deck chair in here. Still got stuff in here from the Trifive Nationals. Yeah, but anyway, let me get to the show, or drive to the show, and see how it runs. I know it starts. I started obviously to prime that pump, the filter, sorry, because obviously it was disconnected, and it started right up. No worries. So I'll get to the show. It's the September show. I think there's an October show, and that's it. Maybe I'm pretty sure there's an October show here in Bloomfield, but October's the last show. And I recall last year it didn't get a lot of people. So yeah, let me get ready for that, and I'll see you guys down there or on the way. Okay guys, we're just well, I am, not we, I'm leaving my property now. Headed to the car show in Bloomfield. Like I said earlier, I think it's the second last car show, and here's a reason why I have to narrow my control arms. I cannot safely make, well I did that time, it's to make a right hand turn, it's really hard. But anyway, as you can see, they're really narrow roads. Yeah, they're really narrow roads, so I just want to have two hands on the wheel, and I'll get there. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I think it's way better too. I mean, it's still cold, I'm not going to give a crap, but it is running a lot better. So I'll see you guys soon. there. Beautiful, beautiful day, and almost ready for corn harvest and soybean, and beautiful. So, excuse me. I'm going to pull over here in a second and just have a quick look at the in the engine bay, or might do it at the show actually, but beautiful day actually, yeah. So like I said, I'm just going to stop up here, then I'll get to the show, and I might do some video of the local show here. It's not a bad one, quick little show. Anyway, I'll talk in a minute. All right. MG. Hey guys, I had to voice over this section of the video. A lot of car shows have music playing, although some of it's really loud and obnoxious. It's for the copyright reasons is why I are doing this voiceover. But as you can see, there's a variety of different cars, trucks, late model stuff, some early stuff like this Monte Carlo, and of course some pickups you can see to the right. I really like that model Monte Carlo. They've got all sorts of different cars here, of course. Trifives, few Trifives actually. That was a nice car. But yeah, I generally voice over any sort of copyright music. For a little town, they attract a few cars at this car show. 55s, Novas, Mopars and Fords. But yeah, so this is pretty much the show. Chevelle. I really like this little Buick. I videotaped it a fair bit because of the engine, which is very, very similar, an L27 engine that they put in the Holden Commodore, like the one in my car. So basically the same engine, but front-wheel drive in this.
It's pricey. One of these years I'm gonna flip up that. It's got airbags on it. Oh yeah. AC. And it's
You know Roger Malcolm?
Roger Malcolm.
He's a Trifive guy.
Markham, yeah, Roger. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, everything's pretty good with it. Just got back from the show. I lifted the hood, make sure everything was okay, and it is running good. Definitely got rid of the issue that it had. Obviously, it sounds quieter with that new. There's the old gasket. Maybe it was leaking. There was evidence around this area here. It's a bit black, you see. Could have been just blowing through that top bit there. But yeah, it seems like it's quiet. I also replaced the header gasket there as well. So yeah, no, that's it for this video, guys. Today I'm going to be working on the gasser. It's not running 100%. It was running great after the Trifive Nationals last year, but actually at the show I went to today, it's the last show of the year, and this is where I took this last year. I went to drive it for another event, and it was running like it was running pretty bad. So I don't know, I have to pull the plugs out, have a look, see if they're how bad they are, if they're, I don't know, fouled or anything, and check the linkages, make sure everything's okay with that, make sure nothing's come loose. But yeah, that's next. I'll be trying to get this running. I want to clean it, detail it, so I can put it away for the winter. Both of these, I'm just going to clean that one more time because I did wash it today. But anyway, I'm not going to go on. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. 57 convertible. Look at this nice ranchero.
I might find another one day. It's getting harder and harder.
It's got tubular front suspension under it. It's got a four-wheel.
There you go, bub. Come over, look at some cars, mate. Don't fall over, mate. Alright? Don't fall over. Some nice cars here. Yeah.
In the
Is he
pledge.
swearing?
Oh, I don't know.
You should tap him on the tape. Excuse me, stop swearing. I'd love it. He'll go, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's easy. He's loud, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. We just passed by and Stan said, I think that's his son, because when you turned the phone around, we saw it. I thought,
Yeah. He's a good kid.